Hello, lovely people. You're welcome to Davcado TV. If you're watching from YouTube, please try to subscribe, like, and share our content. If you're watching on Facebook, please follow our channel, follow our page on Facebook, like and share this very content. If you're watching from TikTok, Instagram, or wherever you're watching from, please try to subscribe, like, share our content, let people hear about it, and any concerns to raise. The comment section is always there to accept any comments that you have in mind to raise. There is this another pressing issue that needs to be talked about, especially in this community that we find ourselves. Prampram, yeah, Ningo Prampram, especially Prampram. Let me be precise. This has been one of the issues in Prampram. In fact, is a very big problem. But the way it appears that it has been underrated because people don't give much attention to it, and a whole lot of attention is diverted into other problems. Meanwhile, this problem is a problem that could cause a damage, that could cause disaster in the nearest future, and people quite don't give attention to it. And this problem that we are talking about here is what we call teenage pregnancy. Now, when you come to this part of the world, when you come to this part of Ghana, Prampram, teenage pregnancy is like a gala. It's like gala, like it's very common. And the way it has become common, people don't see it to be a pressing issue. People don't see it to be a pressing problem. So everybody sees it to be something normal. But then it is not something normal, because this teenage pregnancy is causing a whole lot. I quite remember last time, one of the mornings, I think it was early morning, I went to the beach side. Over here we call it Wunya. So I went to Wunya to go and just have a quiet time and relax a little bit in the morning. So while I was coming back, I was like, let me just stroll around and see how the place is, even though it's messy. So I took a stroll around and I was seeing things. I was seeing people, and among these people that I was seeing, in fact, if I counted right, I counted about 13 people that I saw. And in these 13 people, some of them were teenagers who were carrying big stomach. Some of them were teenagers who are breastfeeding babies, and some of them are teenagers who are supposed to be in school, but they are not in school. They are at home doing, let me say, unnecessary stuff. And I was just saying to myself, so these teenagers that are at home, some of them breastfeeding babies, some of them carrying big stomach around, carrying pregnancy around, and some of them just at home doing nothing. And I was like, these teenagers, these kids are supposed to be in school studying, but here they are suffering from this or that. And one thing I also realized, that these teenagers that are carrying these pregnancies, or these teenagers that are giving birth to these children, are also children that were raised by teenagers. So that was one thing I realized, and it dawned on me that this is a problem that has been underrated. It's a big issue that has been underrated. And the stakeholders in Prampram, the chiefs, the stakeholders, the politicians that we have in Prampram, the assembly members, they are not doing anything about it. They are focusing on, oh, let's do this project, let's do this, let's do that. But the people they are doing the projects for, do they even give a damn about this project that we are talking about? You are building schools, okay, you are building schools. It's a good thing to build schools. Now if you build the schools and there are no children, there are no kids to attend the school, or the kids are not interested in the schools that you are attending, it's a waste. So if you build the school for the children to attend, you have to enforce it on them to attend the school. So this teenage pregnancy is a very big problem in this community, and nobody seems to have done anything about it, and nobody is doing anything about it, because it's really a pressing issue. Come to think of it, let's say as I said earlier, most of these kids that you see around carrying children, breastfeeding children, taking care of children, taking responsibility, some of them, in fact most of them, were children that were raised by teenage mothers, teenage single mothers, and single fathers. They were raised by these teenagers, and they become teenagers, and they also have to give birth in their teenage level. So what about their children? And one dangerous thing is that these teenagers that are giving birth, they don't have what it takes to be responsible for a child, because you are being taken care of by your parents, and still you need to take care of somebody who you owe responsibility. So how is it? So when you go to lower now, for example, I'm taking lower for instance, Prampram lower for instance. When you go there, early morning, you see kids, little kids playing around, not even thinking of let me go to school or this or that. And some of these teenage parents, they don't care about it, because they don't have what it takes to raise a child, and they are raising a child. They are being still raised by their parents, yet they are still raising a child that they call their own. Isn't it a very big problem? And if care is not taken, I'm afraid that in the nearest future, Prampram will be flooded with children that were being raised by teenagers. Prampram will be flooded with teenagers that were being raised by teenagers. Now, if a teenager is raising a child, what life experience is that teenager impacting in that child? Hereby, the teenager who is raising the child does not have any life experience. She's just a teenager who knows nothing. So because of pregnancy, the teenager has dropped out of school and has gone to give birth. So you have dropped out of school and gone to give birth. What life experience do you have to share with your children? What life experience do you have to raise your child? Hereby, the child is being raised, unnecessary ways, and the child will grow up, following the path of their parents. So these teenagers, get up, give birth, and their parents don't even care about this. The community don't even care about it. The stakeholders in the community don't even care about this. And this is a very big issue. In fact, most underrated problem in this Prampram here, which, if not taken care of in the nearest future, is going to cause a very big damage to this community, a very big damage to this community. So I'm sending this video, I'm sending this message to these stakeholders, the paramount chief of Prampram, Nene Tete Waka, the assembly members, the member of parliament for Ningu Prampram district, Honorable Samonati George. I'm also sending this message to Honorable E.T. Nati and all other stakeholders in this community, that they should come together and let's find a way to tackle this problem, because if this problem is not being tackled, it is going to cause a very bigger one. Because I can't imagine, because if this problem is not tackled now, when in the nearest future, it might going to be a different thing altogether. And all these teenage mothers, they don't have anything they are doing. They are just, let me say, JHS dropout, SHS dropout. Some of them have not even, attempt going to school. And some of them are dropout who, they don't have anything doing. Their parents are taking care of them and their children that they have given birth to. So these children that are being taken care of by their parents who don't have anything doing, how do they cope? How do they manage with their academic lifestyle? How do they manage their personal lifestyle? How do they grow up? What perception do they grow up with? Because the perception that you grow up with, is what will remain in your mind, and is what you continue to practice every day. So when you go out there, when you go to the streets of lower like this, every morning you see children parading the streets, doing nothing, just playing all around. And when you look at all these children, you see that they are children who were given birth to by teenage mothers. And these teenage mothers don't know anything about responsibilities, because growing up, you are your parents' responsibility. So whilst you are your parent responsibility, and now you have bring another responsibility on yourself, how do your parent take care of you, and how do you take care of that child that you are giving birth to? And hereby you are bringing children into the world to come and suffer. So a lot of these kids, you see them around, very dirty, very filthy, and very disgusting. Meanwhile, they are children that God gave, free gifts that God gave for us to take care of them. But because of immaturity, because of irresponsibility, these children are being deserted. So this message is calling on all the stakeholders, all the people that it may concern, people that have this community Prampram at heart. They should rise up and let's fight this case. And another case too that is predominant in this community is these sexually transmitted disease like HIVs and stuff. It is a very dominating sickness, very dominating issue in this Prampram here. Nobody cares about it. Nobody gives a damn about all this thing. So this message, whoever that this message has got into, try to share this message. Let these people that have the power to change these things, let them come with the power, and let's change this so that Prampram will be a better place. Because if care is not taken, Prampram will be one of the worst places in this greater Accra. For example, when you mention some community, let's say you are in a conversation with somebody and they mention Jamestown, you be like, oh, Jamestown boys, Jamestown girls this. They mention Kaswa, they say, oh, Kaswa girls this, Kaswa girls that, Kaswa boys, whatever. A time will come, if care is not taken, a time will come where you will be in a conversation with somebody, and when they mention Prampram, you will say the bad comments that people will say about Prampram. Even currently it is happening. It is happening because it might be sometimes you go to some place and when they mention Prampram, they'll be like, oh, Prampram, now that place, what they go on, those kind of unnecessary comments. So this issue needs to be taken care of so that in the nearest future, Prampram will be a good place. Prampram will be a place that when you come, you will love the environment. Prampram has a lot of good site environment, a lot of attractive areas. Honestly, a lot of attractive areas. So the government have to come in. The other institutions that we have in this area that also might have good effect in this issue that is in this community. So these organizations, these institutions should rise up. The stakeholders should rise up. The members of parliament, the member of parliament for Ningo Prampram district should rise up. The Honorable Etienne Nate should rise up. The paramount chief of Prampram, Honorable in the person of Nene Tatewaka, should rise up and let's fight these issues. It is not only in the hands of the parent to fight this issue. Even though the parents, I don't see any effort that the parents are making to fight this issue because they have seen it as a normal thing. Your child will go out and come back with pregnancy and you see it as a normal thing. You'll be happy with the child, you roll around with the child will give birth and you still be the one to take care of your child and take care of your child's child. Isn't that a kind of is bothering, honestly?
Well, it's a very pressing issue, and the government, these couple of people that I mentioned earlier, they have to try and do something about it. They have to really try and do something about it, because if care is not taken, a time will come. This community will be a deserted place. This community is going to be like a community that people don't want to hear about. So these people have to rise up. Let's rise up. Let the parents rise up. Let the chiefs rise up. Let the stakeholders rise up. Let the politicians rise up, and let's fight this issue. Let's rise up and fight this issue, because as it is small now, if we fight it now, we might be able to defeat it. For a little drop of water, they said, makes a mighty ocean. So now that it's still dropping, let's find the leakages and let's deal with the leakages before it becomes a mighty ocean. Because if it becomes a mighty ocean, it's going to be hard to dry up. So let's fight it now that we can still. So calling on everybody, you that are watching this video, try to share this video. If there's any impact that you think can be made to solve this issue, bring it on board. Let's put it out there and let's solve this issue. Now this is not the end of the video yet, because I still have more to talk about, because I had a couple of conversation with this couple of people, these teenage mothers and these teenage fathers. I met with a couple of them, and I had a couple of conversations with them, even with their parents. I had a conversation with them. So in my next video, I'm going to be displaying these conversations with you, and also I also came about with some of the suggestions, some of the things that the community can do to help solve this problem, some of the things that the stakeholders, the parents can do to solve this problem. So I'm going to be bringing it on board in my next video. So don't miss out on the next video, because it's going to be very important. You're going to be hearing from some of these teenage mothers and some of the challenges that they are facing, and their parents too, some of the challenges they are facing, and how their situations came about. So in my next video, try to miss out, and try not to miss out. And one of the ways not to miss out is by subscribing to the channel. Click on the notification so that when that video is out, you'll be the first person to be notified. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, like, and share. If you're watching on Facebook, TikTok, or Instagram, try to follow the page, like, and most importantly, share this message. Share this message across. Let it reach far and wide.
What up, my people? I go by the name T-Rhyme, aka the stylish rapper, aka Conscious, aka Fire, aka what I say, BBB. You watching Davcado TV. Keep it live. Don't go nowhere. Alright.